everybody. It's Sean Peck. I thought I would take time to do a list of my top 10 all time hard rock slash metal vocalists. These are the 10 that are my favorite, that are the ones that, really rock me, the guys that I keep going back to listen to, and I think there's going to be some shockers in there. All right, so here we go. First, we're going to go through a list of my honorable mention guys, and if you don't know who some of these people are I'm about to talk about, you need to check them out. First, we're going to start with honorable mentions are number one, Hansi from Blind Guardian. I'm not really a huge Blind Guardian fan, mostly because of the style. The style's a little too happy, folksy for me. They do have some ripping tracks though. But Hansi is an incredible, vocalist, and I love some of the songs in the Demons and Wizards. So I had to put him on the list. We also have Neura from Battle Beast. Battle Beast, I absolutely started out loving, and then the last few albums they kind of been losing me. But she is an incredible singer. So if you haven't heard her, check her out. She's amazing, on the album and live. Next we got my buddy SKI from Deadly Blessing and a bunch of other bands. East Coast guy, friend of mine, incredible range, power, killer tone. Check out anything that he's on, because he's a monster. And then we have Sharon Adele from Within Temptation. I became kind of a huge Within Temptation fan. Love that last album. The song "The Howling" was the one that really grabbed me. And as far as female vocalists, next to Ann Wilson, she has got like all the chops. She's got a big full head voice, powerful chest voice, and then she can do that falsetto stuff. She's got all the tools of the trade, and her tone is just killer. For a lot of the females, sound to me a lot the same, and she's just got a great tone on her own that really makes her stand out. And then some of those great songs they have, and she's definitely in my honorable mention category. James Neal from Malice. The original Malice singer. Go back and listen to those albums. Great tone, killer range, great screams. I had to put him on the list. And finally, we have Paramore McCarty from Warrior. Some of you might know I did a little stint in Warrior too, but he's a killer singer, and I had to put him on the list too. So there you have it. Those are my honorable mentions before we get into the top 10. All right. So now with number 10, like I said, there's going to be some shockers here. Number 10, I'm going with Mike Howe from Metal Church and band previous to that, Heretic. Mike Howe, I kind of got into Metal Church late. I got into Metal Church from the Blessing in Disguise album, which I absolutely love. And man, his tone and that grit that he's just got the perfect metal voice. And all those Metal Church albums that he's on, you can't beat them, man. They're just killer metal songs, great riffs, and then that voice of his just shredding on it. A lot of people, love David Wayne was amazing too, within the original guy and the original albums. But something about Mike Howe's voice, man, just really calls to me, and I've always loved him. And when he got back into Metal Church, I was just stoked. I was like, hey, that's, great move. So number 10, Mike Howe. Number 9, Urban Breed from Bloodbound, Sirius Black, and where I grew to know him and just love his voice, Tad Morose. Some of you might be looking at this like, who? Urban? That's his name? Urban Breed. Yeah, his name is Urban Breed. Cool dude, and he's just got another kind of in the Mike Howe vein, a real, crackly tone, and it's just he's I just love listening to that dude sing, man. And great power, great range, and he just gets, he makes you believe what he's singing in all those songs. So Urban Breed at number 9. Number 8. Some people might think this is far back on the list. Number 8, but I'm going to slot in King Diamond at number 8. Now, King Diamond, when I first heard him, was really the first time I heard King Diamond was on the Fatal Portrait album, and I'm going to do another list. I might put a link here later of my top 20 Merciful Fate King Diamond songs. And a lot of you might know, I was in the band Denner Sherman with the 2 guitar players from Merciful Fate, where King Diamond, started. But King Diamond has a super unique voice. When I first heard it on the Fatal Portrait album, it was just so freaking weird, man. And I was like, this is, it went up, that trippy voice went along with the whole evil theme. And as I was reading the lyrics and the whole vibe of what King Diamond was all about, I became a fan. And then like 2 weeks after I got into King Diamond, the Abigail album came out, and I saw him live in LA, and I still put that at one of my top 5 concerts ever. It was in just this dirty, beat up place in LA. Mickey D on the drums, Timmy Hansen on the bass wearing an eye patch, freaking blew me away. He's not like some incredible technical vocalist, and his regular, chest voice is really not something that he uses much, but he's just got his falsetto technique, and I had to, as far as going and listening to people, this is what this list is all about. King Diamond's number 8. Some people probably thought he'd be higher, but no, he's down at number 8, but he is definitely in the top 10 for me because, some people just can't stand, they're like, I love the music, but I can't stand the way he sings. But I'm one of the ones I'm lucky enough to dig, how King Diamond sounds along with the music, and it makes those early albums just, as great as they are. So King Diamond, number 8. Okay, number 7, Michael Kiske. Kiske. Keeper of the Seven Keys. When that album came out, super strong. He kind of is the forefather for so many people to just emulate his sound. There's that thing, the Halloween clones, but he was the original guy. He had the, that tone, that sound. And, now doing the Pumpkins United, he sounds fantastic still, going strong. And, he really honed in, and he owns that kind of tone and that sound. There's so many imitators, a lot of South America, a lot of people in Europe, a lot of big names that are on other people's top 10 lists that sound like him. But no, there's only one Michael Kiske, and hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Keeper of the Seven Keys, random songs going forward, but that album is pretty much everybody agrees is a masterpiece. So for me, Michael Kiske at number 7. All right, number 6. I told you there'd be some shockers. All the way down to 6 for me, Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie James Dio was my first metal concert ever in Anchorage, Alaska in '84. Dokken on the Tooth and Nail tour, and Dio. I was fully into Dokken, man. That Tooth and Nail album was just, that album to me is a masterpiece. Every song on it just rips. And so, I went mind blown berserk for Dokken, and then Dio came on, and I dug it, and a lot of cool songs. But I was just such a Dokken fanatic back then. But Dio was my first metal concert. And, I've got the opportunity to, meet him several times and open up for him, I think 3 times. One time it was Cage, Dio, and Iron Maiden, which, we went backstage and saw those backstage signs. It was Dio, Cage, Iron Maiden. I just stood there. I go, it's never going to get better than this. It's all downhill from here. So, and so got a big love for Dio, but he doesn't. I mean, his voice is amazing and magical, and that tone, that just magic tone he had. But part of this list is also in the songs, and a lot of those Dio albums to me just didn't resonate with me. The songs weren't there. There wasn't a Dio album to me where it was just like masterpiece. Every song was just killer. So that's one of the reasons I've got him um, down to number 6. He's number 1 on a lot of people's lists, but on Sean Peck's list, he's number 6. All right, number 5 is Harry the Tyrant Conklin. Yes, I'm in a band with Harry. So you're going to go, of course you're going to say that. He's in the Three Tremors with you. But this dude, and anybody who's seen him live, can pretty much outsing anybody on planet Earth. I mean, if you don't know who Harry Conklin is from Jag Panzer, Titan Force, and Satan's Host, and the Three Tremors, go watch him on some videos on YouTube because, we've done many, many tours with him, and he is a freaking vocal monster. It's irritating how good he is. I mean, it's like he doesn't even have to try. It's really a pain in the ass singing next to him. But, really pure tone. He's got a really, really unique technique that, I mean, if he could teach people, learn it. I wish I would have learned to sing like he does because it's like way easier than how I sing. And so he can hold notes forever. He can go up to the sky. He's got a real nice, airy voice too. A lot of different shades to his voice. Supreme power, and nothing phases him on tour. He's never like, oh, my voice, like it's never like that, man. So Harry at number 5, he is a frigging monster vocalist. If you don't know who Harry the Tyrant Conklin is, go look for him right now. At number 4, I had to put another Three Tremor in there. Tim the Ripper Owens at number 4. All right. When I first heard the Jugulator album, I told the story before. There was a free tapes at Tower Records, and it had Jugulator on it. We put it in. We were just like, what the fuck? Already being, having Priest be my favorite band, and then this thing comes out, and hearing Tim on Jugulator, then getting the album, and then we opened for him and saw him live when he played live on that tour. We were just freaking blown away. So really, Tim has a killer, unique tone. Again, a guy with, I wish I would have learned his technique instead of how I sing because, a lot of it's really effortless for him. And, nobody really sounds like him. Right when you hear him sing, that's one thing that you got, that's hard to do as a singer is, like we talked about a Halloween clone, but most important thing is, you hear, like when you hear Sting on the radio, it's instantly, that's Sting, or Ozzy. There's some people that sound like Ozzy now, but so you hear Ripper and it's Ripper. That's a real important attribute to have. It's not easy to get. Something I had a hard time with, it's like getting my own sound so people knew who I was, like right when they heard it. But going on tour with Ripper and seeing how he does it, total pro, and what he can do, and making records with them. I mean, there's so many times where we get tracks, and I would just be like, dude, I didn't know you could do that. I mean, he's always pulling something new out of his bag of tricks, and another guy that's just like, when he sends his vocal tracks to us, they're so perfect. It's like, damn, dude. So at number 4, and who else could step into Rob Halford's shoes and do a phenomenal job? That's like an impossible task, and he took it head on and just knocked it out of the park. Tim Ripper Owens, number 4. Number 3. So we had the Tyrant. We had a lot of people with nicknames. The Ripper. Now we have the Air Raid Siren at number 3. Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, and earlier Samson. Just went and saw Iron Maiden on this last tour. I don't know how old he is now, but I mean, the show was flawless. 2 hours, um, greatest hits. It was probably the best Iron Maiden set they ever did. I mean, the show was could be the best Maiden performance I've ever seen. And Bruce just sounded phenomenal. I don't. I mean, as far as I could tell, nothing was tuned down. Like, I think he's just singing everything the way it used to be. I don't think I'm wrong on that, but you guys could fact check me on that. But he has got another voice. Some people try to imitate just that full power chest voice, head voice, mixed voice that he uses. He can throw in a yeah, a little falsetto shriek now and again. And the whole time he's running his ass off around the stage. So again, this goes into the whole thing, the longevity, who I like to listen to. You get in the car, do I put on Iron Maiden? Yes, I put on Iron Maiden and blast it. And Bruce Dickinson, is the go-to Iron Maiden singer for me, because that's where all my favorite Iron Maiden songs were. Whether it's Stranger in a Strange Land, or Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, or Somewhere in Time. That whole stretch in there, Power Slave, is just magic. And he's still going strong today. And like I said, that last Iron Maiden concert was probably the best one I ever saw. And Bruce is just a beast. So Bruce Dickinson, number 3. Okay, shockers, number 2. Some of you may not even know who this guy is. Another guy with a killer nickname. I should have come up with it. I have a nickname, but I should have come up with one when I first started singing. Midnight from Crimson Glory. Midnight from Crimson Glory. I don't even know what his real name is. You guys can help me out with that. I used to know it. Rest in peace to this guy. The first 2 Crimson Glory albums, if you haven't heard them, they are frickin' masterpieces. This guy's vocal performance on Transcendence, the second one, could be the greatest vocal performance on any record ever. I mean, I have listened to that album over and over, like headphones, in the dark, eyes closed. And what this dude did with his voice, I mean, he had another real high-pitched, kind of shrilly, normal voice, naturally, high. But I had the chance to see him live too. That's in my top 5 all-time concerts. They were badass. They came out like all leather and like those half chrome masks that they were wearing, and they were just freaking lethal, man. Midnight from Crimson Glory. So the guy, the end note in Valhalla, I've emulated a lot. I've stolen some techniques that the guy does. Super high, powerful notes that just go off like a laser beam. So much emotion in his voice, man. He could relay emotion and power, and it's a shame we lost him way too soon. But Midnight was they had a celebration at Prague Power in 2009, Prague Power USA 2009. I got to sing Red Sharks with Nils from Pagan's Mind. There's a video online. Maybe I'll put that link here. And it took that's what someone, I think it was John Drenning or someone was saying, it's like, hey, it took 20 vocalists to duplicate what this one guy did. So Midnight was just incredible. Look him up. I mean, power, range, emotion. I mean, this guy was a frickin' robot. He was insane. Midnight at number 2. All right, we've made it all the way through this video. My number 1 all-time vocalist. You can probably figure it out. Probably you've already guessed it when you saw that I was going to do this video. This is not a shocker. Some of the other ones were. The Metal God, another killer nickname, Rob Halford from Judas Priest at number 1. So Rob Halford was definitely, not why I started singing, but he was the guy, became a huge Priest fan, and I just loved all the shit that he could do and just how he sounded, how Rob Halford's voice sounds. Again, his tone. Halford singing, you know it's him, like right off the bat. And, the way, killer stage presence, he created the whole, leather and studs thing practically. And, you know, just from a song like Beyond the Realms of Death to Screaming for Vengeance, to a Painkiller. And then you'd love all the albums, and then you go see him live, and like live, it was even better than on the record. And that's what like most of these guys have that are on the list. They're phenomenal live. Seeing them live in a live environment, they're usually better than even what's on the record. So that's another criteria that I used for this top 10 list. So there's not a whole lot more to be said about the metal god Rob Halford. I mean, even the last time I saw him with Saxon, 2 years ago, 18 months ago, I could have been his best vocal performance that I've ever seen from him. I was just staring at. I had a real, I was the front 10 rows. I was in the pit, I think. But they had a giant screen off to the left, man, and they were just zooming in on his face, and I was just analyzing like every freaking, how he held his jaw, and the effort that he was putting into the different songs, and just trying to pick up techniques, and like that performance was amazing. I mean, he sounded badass, and how old's Halford? 67 maybe is the time I'm making this video. So longevity, uniqueness, raw power, freaking range with power. There's only going to be one metal god. I don't know that anyone's ever going to duplicate what Rob Halford did. So Rob Halford, number one. The metal god, of course, it makes perfect sense. Hey, well, thanks for checking out my top 10 hard rock heavy metal vocalist list. Who do you got in your top 10? Let's check it out. Put something down in the comments about who you like, who you thought maybe I should have included, or someone that got left out, someone that should be higher. Tell me what you think. But you also have to smash that subscribe button and maybe check out this video. And we'll be doing some more of these soon. Thanks for checking it out. Sean Peck from Steel Cartel. We'll see you next time.